The message came at dawn, a new soul, humanity's newest colony world. Ambassador Hyunwoo Kim was drinking his morning coffee when his communication device started beeping with urgent signals. The screen showed a priority message from the Galactic Council. Hyunwoo frowned. The Council never sent messages this early. He touched the screen to open the message. A tall, crystal-like alien appeared on the display. This was Veltar, one of the Zephyrian counselors. "Greetings, human ambassador," Veltar said in a cold voice. "The Galactic Council has passed a new law. All species must follow the Sentient Species Regulation Act. You have 30 standard days to comply." Hyunwoo set down his coffee cup. "What does this law require?" "All military ships must be given to the Council. All defense systems must be shut down. Your species will receive Council protection instead." Veltar's crystal body glowed brighter. "This is not a request. This is a command." The message ended. Hyunwoo stared at the blank screen. In his 20 years as a diplomat, he had never heard the Council speak like this. They always asked nicely, even when they wanted something important. He called Jimin Park, his smartest advisor. Jimin was a scientist who studied alien species. She knew more about Council politics than anyone else on Nusol. "Jimin, I need you two come to my office right now," Hyunwoo said. "Is something wrong?" Jimin asked. "The Council just gave us an ultimatum. We have 30 days to give up all our weapons." Jimin was quiet for a moment. "I will be there in 10 minutes. When Jimin arrived, Hyunwoo showed her the message. She watched it 3 times, her face getting more worried each time. "This is very strange," Jimin said. "The Council never forces species to do things this fast. When they passed similar laws for other species, they gave them years to comply. Why are we different?" Hyunwoo asked. G-Min pulled up files on her tablet. "Look at this data. The Krellian Empire got 5 years to reduce their military. The Vorthan Trade Consortium got 3 years. Even the warlike Nexari got 2 years. She looked up at Hyunwoo. "We get 30 days. Hyunwoo felt a cold feeling in his stomach. "They are targeting us specifically. It looks that way," Jimin said. "But why?" Before Hyunwoo could answer, another message came in. This one was from Orcs. Captain Donghyun Lee was coming to the Council station with a diplomatic fleet. The message said he would arrive in 3 days. Hyunwoo knew Captain Lee well. The man was honest and brave, but he did not like to back down from a fight. This could be good or very bad. 3 days later, Hyunwoo stood in the docking bay of Council Station Prime. This was the largest space station in the galaxy. It was home to representatives from 847 different species. The station was so big that it had its own weather systems and gravity fields. Captain Lee's ship, the Breaking Dawn, was beautiful. It was sleek and white, with blue markings that showed it belonged to the United Earth Space Navy. 3 smaller ships followed it into the docking bay. Captain Lee came down the ramp first. He was a tall man with kind eyes and a firm handshake. Behind him came his team, Chief Engineer Sujin Choi, Military Strategist Woo-bin Kong, and Cultural Attaché Haijin Nam. "Ambassador Kim," Captain Lee said, bowing slightly. "I came as fast as I could. I am glad you are here," Hyunwoo said. "The situation is more serious than we thought." They walked through the station's corridors toward the Council chambers. The hallways were filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some walked on 2 legs, like humans. Others floated in the air or rolled on wheels. The diversity was amazing, but today Hyunwoo felt worried instead of wonder. "What do we know about this new law?" Captain Lee asked as they walked. "It requires all species to give up their military power," Hyunwoo explained. "But we are the only ones being forced to comply immediately." Woo-bin Kong, the military strategist, spoke up. "This feels like a trap. Why single us out?" "That is what we need to find out," Hyunwoo said. They reached the Council chambers. The room was enormous, with seats for representatives from hundreds of species. At the center was a raised platform where speakers could address the Council. The human delegation took their assigned seats. Around them, alien representatives whispered to each other in dozens of different languages. The translation devices in their ears worked hard to keep up. A deep gong sounded. The Council session was beginning. The first speaker was Morden Prime, the leader of the ancient Morden Collective. The Morden looked like large jellyfish made of light. They had been part of the Council for thousands of years. "The Galactic Council recognizes the human delegation," Morden Prime said. Its voice sounded like music played underwater. "You have been summoned to discuss your compliance with the Sentient Species Regulation Act." Hyunwoo stood up and walked to the center platform. All 847 species were watching him. He felt the weight of their attention. "Honored counselors," Hyunwoo began, "humanity is grateful for the Council's protection over the past 50 years. We have learned much from our galactic neighbors." Murmurs of approval came from some sections of the chamber. However, Hyunwoo continued, "We have questions about this new law. Why are we being asked to comply so quickly? Other species received years to prepare." The murmurs stopped. The chamber became very quiet. Admiral Thaxmer of the Krellian Empire stood up. The Krellians looked like giant insects with metal armor. They were known for their military strength. "The human species has shown dangerous growth. Thaxmer said, in a harsh voice. In 50 years, you have advanced faster than any species in Council history. This rapid progress threatens galactic stability. How does our progress threaten anyone? Hyanwu asked. You went from primitive space flight to building your own hyperspace drives in 5 decades, Thaxmer replied. Most species take centuries to achieve this. Your rate of advancement is unnatural. Hyanwu felt anger rising in his chest, but he kept his voice calm. Are we being punished for learning quickly? You are being brought into line with galactic norms, said another voice. This was Kextel from the Vorthon Trade Consortium. The Vorthons looked like large purple octopi. All species must follow the same rules. But we are not being given the same time to follow these rules, Hyanwu pointed out. Your species is special, Morden Prime said. Special cases require special measures. Hyanwu looked around the chamber. He saw fear in many of the alien faces. They were afraid of humanity, not because humans were violent or dangerous, but because humans learned and grew too fast. What if we refuse? Hyanwu asked. The chamber erupted in shocked whispers. Admiral Thaxmer's mandibles clicked angrily. Refusal is not an option, Thaxmer said. The Council has the power to enforce its will. Is that a threat? Captain Lee asked, standing up from his seat. It is a fact, Thaxmer replied. Hyanwu looked at his team. Jimin nodded slightly. Wubin's face was stone-cold serious. Sujin and Haijin both looked ready to follow his lead. Hyanwu turned back to face the Council. 847 species waited for his answer. The future of humanity hung in the balance. Honored counselors, Hyanwu said clearly. After careful consideration, humanity must respectfully decline your offer. The chamber exploded into chaos. Aliens jumped to their feet, shouting in their native languages. Some species cheered, others looked shocked, and many appeared angry. You cannot refuse. Admiral Thaxmer roared over the noise. We just did, Hyanwu said calmly. He walked back to his team. We are leaving. Ambassador Kim, Morden Prime, called out. If you walk out of this chamber, humanity will face the consequences. Hyanwu stopped at the chamber doors. He turned back to face the Council one last time. Honored counselors, he said, humanity has always chosen its own path. Today is no different. The human delegation walked out of the Council chambers together. Behind them, the sound of 800 alien voices filled the air. Some were angry, some were confused, and some were afraid, but for the first time in 50 years, humanity was making its own choice about its future. The galaxy would never be the same. The news traveled faster than light across the galaxy. Within hours, every species knew what had happened. Humanity had said no to the Galactic Council. Then they had walked out. On Earth, Prime Minister Minho Chen sat in his office watching news reports from across human space. Every screen showed the same thing. Aliens talking about humanity's bold move. Some called it brave, others called it stupid. Sir, his aide said, rushing into the office. The emergency assembly is ready. Minho nodded. He walked to the great hall where representatives from all human colonies waited. 200 faces looked at him with worry and hope. Friends, Minho began, you have all seen the news. Ambassador, Kim has rejected the Council's demands. Now we must decide what comes next. Representative Sarah from Mars Colony stood up. What will the Council do to us? We do not know yet, Minho admitted, but we must be ready for anything. The hall filled with worried voices. Some people wanted to apologize to the Council. Others wanted to fight. Minho raised his hand for quiet. Before we decide anything, let us hear from Tae-Hee-Yoon, our intelligence chief. Tae-Hee stepped forward. She was a small woman, but her eyes were sharp and intelligent. I have been studying the Council for months. What I found will shock you. She activated a hologram display. Images of alien worlds appeared in the air. The Council has done this before, Tae-Hee said. Whenever a species advances too quickly, they create new laws to stop them. The Kethmer species developed powerful computers 50 years ago. The Council made them illegal. The Zephyrians created new energy systems. The Council called them dangerous. What happened to those species? Someone asked. They all gave up their technology, Tae-Hee replied. They became dependent on the Council for everything. Now they cannot survive without Council approval. The tech hall was very quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The Council is not trying to protect us. Tae-Hee continued. They are trying to control us. They are afraid that humanity will become too powerful. Minho felt anger growing in his chest. How long has this been happening? For over 1,000 years, Tae-Hee said. The Council keeps all species weak so they stay in power. Representative Kim from New Seoul spoke up. If this is true, then Ambassador Kim made the right choice. Many people nodded in agreement. Meanwhile, in space near the Council station, Captain Sung-Ho Bae was having his own problems. His merchant ship, the New Horizon, was carrying food supplies to human colonies. But 3 Krellian warships had surrounded him. Human vessel, came a voice over the radio. You are ordered to stop and submit to inspection. Captain Bae looked at his crew. They were scared but determined. We are in neutral space, he replied. You have no authority here. The Council has declared all human ships to be dangerous. the Krellian commander said. Prepare to be boarded, Captain. Bay made a quick decision. All crew, hold on tight. He pushed his engines to maximum power. The New Horizon shot forward like a bullet. The Krellian ships tried to follow, but Captain Bay knew his ship better than anyone. He flew through an asteroid field that the larger warships could not enter. Human ship, the Krellian commander shouted over the radio. You cannot run forever. Watch me, Captain Bay replied, cutting off the communication. Back on Earth, Young Suhan was in his corporate office. He was the head of Stellar Industries, humanity's largest space company. His assistant ran into the room with bad news. Sir, the Council has blocked all our trade routes. Our cargo ships are being stopped at every checkpoint. Young Su stood up and walked to his window. He could see Earth's space elevators reaching into the sky. Human ships moved between them like busy insects. Send a message to all our captains, Young Su said. Bring all ships back to human space. We are done trading with the Council. Sir, that will cost us billions of credits, his assistant said. Freedom is worth more than money, Yang Su replied. At the Council station, Ambassador Hyanwu was packing his belongings. The Council had given all humans 24 hours to leave the station. Jemin helped him pack important documents. Ambassador Jemin said, I intercepted a Council communication. They are planning something called Operation Compliance. Hyanwu stopped packing. What is it? Military action against human colonies. Geeman whispered. Admiral Thep is gathering a fleet? How long do we have? Maybe 2 weeks, Jemin said. But some Council members are against it. The Luminari species is trying to find a peaceful solution. Hyanwu felt grateful. The Luminari were beings of pure light. They always tried to solve problems without violence. What about the other species? Hyanwu asked. Mixed reactions, Jemin replied. The Vorthan Trade Consortium supports the military action. They want to take over human territories. But many younger species are watching us with interest. Interesting how? They admire what we did. Jemin smiled. Some of them have been unhappy with the Council for years. Our walkout has given them hope. On the space lanes between colonies, Captain Biora Kim was flying her freight ship, the Freedom's Call. She was carrying medical supplies to sick colonists on Kepler 7, but 6 Vorthon ships blocked her path. Human ship, came a voice like grinding metal. Stop your engines and prepare for boarding. Biora looked at her cargo hold. Children on Kepler 7 needed the medicine she was carrying. If she stopped now, some of them might die. Negative, Biora replied. I am carrying medical supplies. Stopping me violates galactic humanitarian law. There is no law for humans anymore, the Vorthan commander replied. Biora felt her anger rise. She was tired of aliens telling humans what they could and could not do. You want to stop me? Biora said into her radio. You will have to catch me first. She activated a new system that human engineers had installed last month. Her ship suddenly became invisible to alien sensors. The Vorthan ships could no longer see her. Where did they go? She heard one Vorthon captain ask another. Biora smiled and flew past them. The medicine would reach Kepler 7 on time. Within days, stories like Biora's spread across human space. Humans were not just running away from Council forces. They were outsmarting them, outflying them, and outthinking them. On the Council station, Admiral Thaxmer was getting frustrated. Reports from his captains. The humans are using new technology, one captain reported. Our sensors cannot track their ships. How is this possible? Thaxmer demanded. We do not know, Admiral. Their ships seem to disappear. Thaxmer slammed his metal claw on the table. Find out how they are doing this. Back on Earth, Minho Chen received a message from Ambassador Hyanwu. The ambassador was returning home with important information about Council plans. Citizens of Earth, Minho announced on global television. The Council has chosen the path of force. They plan to attack our colonies and make us surrender. Worried faces looked back at him from screens around the world. But I have good news too, Minho continued. Our people across the galaxy are proving that humans cannot be easily defeated. Captain Biora Kim escaped 6 warships today. Captain Sungho Bei outflew 3 Krellian cruisers. Our traders and colonists are showing the galaxy that humanity will not bow down. Cheers erupted in assembly halls across human space. The Council wanted compliance, Minho said with a proud smile. Instead, they got something they never expected. They got humans being human. The message was clear. Humanity had chosen its path. They would face whatever came next together. As free people, the galaxy was watching. And for the first time in 1,000 years, species were thinking that maybe the Council was not as powerful as they claimed. The real test was just beginning. 6 months had passed since humanity walked out of the Galactic Council. The embargo was complete. No alien ship would trade with humans. No Council world would accept human visitors. Humanity was alone in the galaxy. But something strange was happening. Instead of growing weaker, humanity was growing stronger. Chanwu Park. The Minister of Colonial Affairs stood in his office on Luna Base, looking at reports from across human space. Every report said the same thing. Human colonies were thriving. Sir, his assistant said, we have completed the evacuation. All humans have left Council space. How many people did we bring home? Chanwu asked. 2 million citizens from 200 different worlds, the assistant replied. They are all safely relocated to human colonies. Chanwu smiled. The council had expected this evacuation to hurt humanity. Instead, it had brought home their best scientists, engineers, and traders. These people brought with them knowledge from across the galaxy. On the hidden research station called Sanctuary, Dr. So-Young Lee was working on humanity's greatest secret. She was the director of the Terran Research Institute. For 5 years, her team had been developing new technology away from council eyes. Dr. Lee, her assistant called out, the new AI system is online. So-Young walked to the main laboratory. In the center of the room was a glowing blue cube. This was Arya, humanity's first truly intelligent computer. Hello, Dr. Lee, Arya said in a pleasant voice. I have analyzed all available data on council technology. I believe I can improve our systems by 400%. So-Young felt excitement growing in her chest. The council used old quantum computers that were slow and limited. Arya was something completely new. Show me what you can do, So-Young said. Arya's blue light grew brighter. Screens around the laboratory filled with designs for new ships, new weapons, and new tools. Everything was more advanced than anything the council had. This is incredible, So-Young whispered. Dr. Lee, Arya said, I have also designed a new type of space drive. It will allow ships to travel instantly across any distance. So-Young stared at the designs. If this worked, humans could travel faster than any species in the galaxy. Meanwhile, Commander Jae-Hyun was testing humanity's new stealth technology. His ship, the Shadow, was completely invisible to alien sensors. He was exploring space beyond the council's borders. Commander, his navigator said, we are approaching the target system. Jae-Hyun looked out at the stars. They were farther from Earth than any human had ever gone. The council maps showed this area as empty space. But human sensors detected something different. There Jae-Hyun pointed to a green and blue planet. Take us down. The Shadow landed in a field of purple grass. The air was clean and breathable. In the distance, they could see the ruins of an ancient city. Commander, his archaeologist, In-ho Nam, called out, you need to see this. In-ho was standing next to a large stone covered in writing. The symbols were unlike anything in council databases. Can you read it? Jae-Hyun asked. In-ho nodded slowly. It is a warning. It says, we were the architects. We built wonders among the stars. The council came with promises of peace. They destroyed us for refusing to kneel. Beware those who demand your submission. Jae-Hyun felt a chill run down his spine. How old is this? At least 2,000 years, In-ho replied. Commander, there are more ruins like this across the planet. The architects tried to resist the council, just like we are doing now. What happened to them? In-ho pointed to scorch marks on nearby buildings. The council destroyed their entire civilization. Back on Earth, something unexpected was happening. A small alien ship had appeared at the edge of human space. It was not a council-designed. Captain Yansu Choi of the exploration ship Pathfinder met the alien vessel near Mars. The alien ship was beautiful, with silver curves and golden decorations. Human ship, came a musical voice over the radio. We request permission to speak with your leaders. Who are you? Captain Choi asked. We are the next. Sorry? We have been watching your conflict with the council. We wish to help. An hour later, Captain Choi was sitting across from the most beautiful being she had ever seen. The Nexari looked like tall, graceful humans made of starlight. Their representative, Zara, spoke in a voice like singing. The council told us you were dangerous, Zara said. They said humans were violent and untrustworthy. What do you think now? Captain Choi asked. We think the council was lying, Zara replied. We have studied your actions for 6 months. You defend yourselves, but you do not attack innocent people. You help those who need help. You are nothing like the council described. Zara leaned forward. Captain Choi, the Nexari are not the only species watching you. 17 different races have left council space in the past 6 months. They all want to be free like humanity. Captain Choi felt hope growing in her heart. Are you saying we are not alone? You were never alone? Zara smiled. Many species have been waiting for someone brave enough to stand up to the council. You have given us that courage. On the council station, Admiral Thaxmer was receiving very bad news. His aide, a nervous Krellian officer, trembled as he delivered his report. Admiral, we have lost contact with 3 more species. The Valdani, the Korath, and the Yuki have all stopped responding to council commands. Thaxmer's mandibles clicked angrily. Where are they? Unknown, sir. Their fleets have disappeared. Our spies report they are meeting with human representatives. This is a rebellion? Thaxmer snarled. The humans are turning our own species against us. The aide nodded nervously. What are your orders, Admiral? Thaxmer stood up to his full height. He was 3 meters tall and covered in metal armor. Prepare the Grand Fleet. We will crush this rebellion before it spreads further. How many ships, sir? All of them, Thaxmer replied. Every council warship, every ally we have. The humans wanted to fight. We will give them a war they will never forget. Back on Earth, Ambassador Hyenwu received a message that changed everything. It was from Zara of the Nexari. Ambassador Kim, Zara's musical voice said, 17 species are ready to join you. We propose a meeting on the neutral world of Haven 7. It is time to form a new alliance. Hyanwu felt excitement and fear at the same time. Humanity was no longer alone, but this also meant the council would see them as an even greater threat. He called Prime Minister Minho immediately. Sir Hyanwu said, we are not just fighting for human freedom anymore. We are fighting for the freedom of the entire galaxy. 1 year after the walkout, humanity had transformed. The embargo that was supposed to destroy them had made them stronger than ever. On New Geneva, humanity's newest colony, Minister Yoon Ji-kwon was announcing incredible news. Behind her stood the governors of 12 brand new human worlds. Citizens of humanity, Yoon-ji said to the cameras. I am proud to announce that the New Worlds Initiative has succeeded beyond our wildest dreams. In just 1 year, we have established 12 thriving colonies in unexplored space. The crowd cheered. These new worlds were more advanced than anything in council space. They had clean energy, perfect food production, and technology that seemed like magic. Dr. Hoon-tak Lee, humanity's greatest physicist, had made the impossible possible. His new hyperspace drive could move ships instantly across the galaxy. What used to take months now took minutes. The old council drives are like walking, Dr. Lee explained to reporters. Our new drives are like flying at the speed of light. On the medical station orbiting New Geneva, Dr. Eugene Essio was showing off another miracle. She had created systems that could change human bodies to live on any world. Watch this, Dr. Essio said to her visitors. She led them to a chamber filled with green mist. A volunteer human walked in. When he came out, his skin was blue and he had gills on his neck. Now he can breathe underwater, Dr. Seo explained. The changes are temporary and completely safe. Humans can now live on worlds that were impossible before. But the biggest revelation came from an unexpected source. Foreign Minister Sang-min Kim was in his office when 17 alien ships appeared at Earth's edge. They were not council ships. They were something entirely different. The lead ship belonged to the next but the others were species that most humans had never seen before. They requested a meeting with Earth's leaders. In the Great Assembly Hall on Earth, Sang-min met with representatives from 17 different species. Some looked like humans, others were completely alien, but they all had one thing in common. They were tired of the council's control. Zara of the Nexari spoke first. Minister Kim, we bring you greetings from the Free Species Coalition. We are races that have left council space to find freedom. How long have you been meeting? Sang-min asked. For centuries, replied Keth, a representative of the Stone-like Korith people. The council has been controlling the galaxy for too long. They promise protection, but they deliver slavery. A tall blue-skinned being named Vel spoke next. She was from the Valdani species. The council has a pattern. When a species becomes too advanced, they create laws to stop them. If the species refuses, they arrange accidents. What kind of accidents? Sang-min asked. Plagues that only affect certain species, Vel replied. Space pirates that attack specific worlds? Technology that mysteriously stops working? The council makes it look natural, but it is all planned. Zara nodded sadly. 7 species before humanity tried to resist. The architects were the most recent. They were destroyed 2,000 years ago. But you survived, Sang-min pointed out. We hid, Keth replied. We pretended to obey while secretly building our own civilization. We have been waiting for someone brave enough to stand openly against the council, and that someone is humanity. Zara smiled. Meanwhile, in council space, things were falling apart. Admiral Thaxmer was receiving reports of chaos from across the galaxy. Admiral, his communication officer reported, we have lost contact with 43 member species. Their territories are empty. Their fleets are gone. Where did they go? Thaxmer demanded. Intelligence suggests they are meeting with the humans. The officer replied nervously. Thaxmer felt rage building in his chest. The human rebellion was spreading faster than a plague. Species that had obeyed the council for thousands of years were suddenly disappearing. Sir, another officer reported, we have intercepted a transmission. The humans are forming something called the Free Worlds Alliance. What is that? A new government, sir? Based on voluntary membership instead of forced compliance. They are offering membership to any species that wants freedom. Thaxmer slammed his claw on the control panel. This is treason against the Galactic Order. What are your orders, Admiral? Activate Operation Compliance. Gather every loyal species. We will destroy the human homeworld and end this rebellion once and for all. On Earth, Captain Yansu Choi was leading the exploration of another ancient ruin. This one was on a dead world at the edge of known space. Her archaeologist, Dr. In-ho Nam, had made a disturbing discovery. Captain, In-ho called out, you need to see this chamber. Inside the ruined building was a room filled with preserved records. Holographic displays showed the history of the destroyed civilization. They called themselves the Harmony, In-ho explained. They were incredibly advanced. Look at these designs. The holograms showed ships that could travel between dimensions, cities that floated in space, and technology that could create new worlds from nothing. What happened to them? Captain Choi asked. Inho activated another hologram. It showed Council ships attacking the Harmony worlds. The peaceful species tried to surrender, but the Council destroyed them anyway. The Council saw them as too dangerous to exist, Inho said quietly, just like they see us. How many civilizations has the Council destroyed? Inho looked at the data, based on these records. At least 50 species over the past 10,000 years? The Council has been doing this for a very long time. Captain Choi felt sick. We need to get this information back to Earth immediately. Back on Earth, the revelation about the Council's true history changed everything. Prime Minister Minho called an emergency session of human leaders. Citizens, Minho announced, we now know the truth. The Galactic Council is not a peaceful organization. They are conquerors who have been destroying advanced civilizations for thousands of years. The assembly hall was completely silent. But we also have good news, Minho continued. We are not alone in this fight. 43 species have joined the Free Worlds Alliance. Together, we are stronger than the Council. Representative Park from Mars stood up. What is the Alliance offering that the Council is not? Freedom, Minho replied simply. The right to grow, to learn, to become whatever we can be. The Council offers safety, but only if we agree to stay weak forever. And if we refuse to stay weak, someone asked. Minho looked around the room. Then we fight. Not for conquest, but for the right to exist as free beings. Admiral Wonho Park, commander of Earth's Defense Force, stood up. Sir, our intelligence suggests the Council is preparing a massive attack. They are gathering the largest fleet in galactic history. How long do we have? Minho asked. Maybe 6 months, Admiral Park replied. But sir, I have good news too. The Alliance species are bringing their own fleets. And our new technology gives us advantages the Council cannot imagine. Minho nodded. Then we prepare for war. Not because we want to fight, but because we refuse to kneel. The message went out across human space and to all Alliance worlds. The final battle for galactic freedom was coming. The meeting took place on Haven 7, a beautiful world with purple skies and silver oceans. Representatives from 44 species gathered in a great crystal dome built by the Nexari Daeun Jung, humanity's new Alliance coordinator, looked around the vast hall. She had never seen so many different types of intelligent life in one place. Some species breathed air, others lived in water tanks, and a few existed as pure energy. Friends, Daeun said, her voice carried by translation devices. We are here because we all want the same thing, freedom. The hall erupted in sounds of agreement. Some species clapped, others made musical tones, and the energy beings flashed bright colors. Zara of the Nexari spoke first. For too long, the Council has told us what we can and cannot do. They have kept us weak while they grow strong. The time for hiding is over, added Keth of the Korith. His rock-like face showed determination. Humanity has shown us that the Council can be resisted. Vel of the Valdani stood up. Her blue skin shimmered as she spoke. My people can manipulate space and time. We offer this technology to the Alliance. One by one, each species offered their unique abilities. The Yuki had advanced medical technology. The Zephyr could control energy. The Korith were master builders. The Nexari had the most beautiful ships in the galaxy. Together, Daeun said, we are stronger than the Council has ever been. Back on Earth, General Jia Hanyu was planning the Alliance's defense. His war room was filled with holographic displays showing the galaxy. Red dots marked Council forces. Blue dots showed Alliance fleets. The Council has 10,000 ships, General Yu explained to his staff. We have 3,000, but we have advantages they do not. He pointed to a display showing ship designs. Our new technology makes our ships faster, stronger, and smarter. One Alliance ship can fight 3 Council ships. Captain Sujin Lim, commander of the battleship Defiance, raised her hand. General, what about their experience? The Council has been fighting wars for thousands of years. That is exactly the problem. General Yu smiled. They fight the same way they always have. We fight in ways they have never seen before. He activated a new display showing battle tactics. The Council uses large fleets that attack directly. We will use small, fast groups that strike from unexpected directions. Meanwhile, the Council was gathering the largest military force in galactic history. Admiral Thaxmer stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Order. Around him, 10,000 warships filled space as far as the eye could see. Admiral, his aide reported, all fleets are in position. We have ships from 300 loyal species. Thaxmer felt satisfaction. This rebel alliance would be crushed like all the others. Begin the advance. Target the human homeworld first. The Council fleet moved toward human space like a metal storm. Each ship was a masterpiece of destruction, designed to bring death. 2 entire worlds. But something unexpected happened when they reached the Proxima Gate, the entry point to human territory. Admiral, the sensor officer called out. We are detecting enemy ships. How many? Thaxmer asked. Unknown, sir. Our sensors are being blocked by some kind of interference. Suddenly, space around the Council fleet exploded with light. Ships appeared from nowhere, attacking from all directions. These were not the clumsy human vessels the Council expected. These ships moved like dancers, fast and graceful. Captain Sujin Lim led the first attack. Her ship, the Defiance, used its new stealth technology to appear right next to a council cruiser. Her weapons, powered by Arya's advanced designs, cut through the enemy's shields like they were made of paper. All Alliance ships, Captain Lim broadcast, execute Pattern Omega. The Alliance fleet split into dozens of small groups. Each group attacked a different part of the Council formation. The Council ships tried to respond, but they were too big and slow. Zara's Nexari ships danced through space. They are beautiful, hulls reflecting starlight as they fired beams of pure energy. The Korath ships, built like flying fortresses, smashed through Council lines. The Valdani ships simply disappeared and reappeared behind enemy vessels. What is happening? Admiral Thaxmer demanded. Why cannot we hit them, sir? They are using technology we have never seen before, his tactical officer replied. Our weapons cannot lock onto their ships. For the first time in 10,000 years, a Council fleet was losing a battle. The Alliance ships worked together like a symphony. Each species used their special abilities to support the others. When Nexari ships needed to recharge, Korath ships protected them. When Valdani ships disappeared, human ships filled the gaps. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was over, the Council fleet was retreating in chaos. They had lost 2,000 ships. The Alliance had lost only 200. Admiral Thaxmer stared at his tactical display in shock. Red dots showed his damaged ships limping away from the battle. Blue dots showed Alliance ships pursuing them. This is impossible, Thaxmer whispered. How did they defeat us? His aide, looking terrified, provided the answer. Sir, they fought as one. All 44 species working together. We have never seen anything like it. Back on Haven 7, the Alliance leaders celebrated their first victory, but Dayun Jung knew this was just the beginning. Friends, she announced, we have won the first battle, but the war is not over. The Council will return with more ships. Let them come, Keth, of the Korath growled. We are no longer afraid. Zara smiled. For the first time in my life, I believe we can actually win this war. Dayun looked around at her allies. 44 species, each different, each unique, but all united in their desire for freedom. The war was shorter than anyone expected. Within 6 months, the Free Worlds Alliance had defeated the Galactic Council in battles across the galaxy. The Council's ancient power was broken forever. Fleet Admiral Junho Cha stood on the bridge of the Alliance flagship New Dawn as it approached Nexus Prime, the Council's capital world. Around him, a fleet of ships from 44 different species waited for his orders. Admiral, his communication officer reported, we are receiving a surrender signal from the planet. Admiral Cha had never expected to hear those words. The mighty Galactic Council, rulers of the galaxy for 10,000 years, was surrendering. Open a channel, Admiral Cha ordered. The main screen showed Morden Prime, the ancient leader of the Council. The jellyfish-like being looked tired and defeated. Admiral Cha Morden Prime said in its musical voice, the Council formally surrenders. We request mercy for our people. Admiral Cha felt no anger, only sadness. The Alliance does not seek revenge. We seek freedom for all species. What will happen to us? Morden Prime asked. That depends on you, Admiral Cha replied. You can join the Alliance as equals, or you can remain independent. The choice is yours. On Nexus Prime, Haiwan Park, the Alliance's chief negotiator, was meeting with representatives from hundreds of Council species. The Great Hall that once demanded obedience now hosted discussions about freedom. The Alliance offers you 3 choices, Haiwan explained to the gathered representatives. First, you can join the Alliance as full members with equal rights. Second, you can form your own independent governments. Third, you can create smaller alliances with species you trust. A Krelian representative surprisingly, not Admiral, spoke up. What about punishment for our crimes? The Alliance believes in justice, not revenge, Haiwan replied. Those who committed crimes will face trial, but entire species will not be punished for the actions of their leaders. Many species chose to join the Alliance. Others formed independent governments. Some created smaller groups based on shared interests or values. The Morden Collective, led by Morden Prime, made a surprising confession. In a private meeting with Alliance leaders, Morden Prime revealed the truth about the Council's history. We were not always conquerors, Morden Prime explained. Long ago we created the Council to bring peace to the galaxy, but power corrupted us. We became the very thing we originally fought against. Ambassador Hyanwu, now serving as the Alliance's senior diplomat, listened with understanding. Power without accountability always leads to corruption. We trapped ourselves in our own system, Morden Prime continued. We could not change without admitting we were wrong. We could not admit we were wrong without losing our power. What will you do now? Hyanwu asked. We will join the Alliance, Morden Prime replied. Perhaps we can learn to be worthy of the power we once held. The transformation of the galaxy was amazing. Myung Kong, the Alliance's first Director General, established new laws that protected the rights of all species. The Galactic Freedom Charter stated that no species could be forced to join any government. Every species had the right to develop their own technology. Trade and cooperation must be voluntary. Military force could only be used for defense. Dr. Byung-ho Shin, a human philosopher, created the Galactic Ethics Institute. This organization would watch over the alliance to make sure it never became like the old council. Power corrupts, Dr. Shin explained to the institute's first class of students. Our job is to make sure the alliance remains free by keeping its leaders accountable. The students came from dozens of different species. They would become the guardians of galactic freedom. 5 years after the war ended, the galaxy was unrecognizable. Where once there had been fear and oppression, now there was creativity and cooperation. On New Geneva, now the Alliance capital, Ambassador Hyenwoo walked through the Harmony Gardens. Children from 50 different species played together under the purple sky. Their laughter filled the air like music. A young human girl ran up to him. Ambassador Kim, look what my friend taught me. The girl's friend was a small Nexari child who glowed like a gentle star. Together, they created a light show that painted rainbows in the air. That is beautiful, Hyenwoo said. Smiling, we are making art together, the human girl explained. My friend shows me how to make light pictures, and I teach her how to sing human songs. Hyenwoo felt tears in his eyes. This was what they had fought for, not conquest or power, but the simple right to grow and learn together. As he walked through the gardens, Hyenwoo thought about the journey that had brought them here. It had started with a simple no in the council chambers. That single word had changed the galaxy forever. His thoughts were interrupted by an urgent message from the Alliance Communication Center. Captain Yansu Choi's voice came through his communicator. Ambassador Kim, Captain Choi said, we have received a message from the far edge of the galaxy. There is another galactic authority out there, and they are demanding compliance from a species called the Wanderers. Hyenwoo felt a familiar feeling in his chest. Somewhere in the galaxy, another species was facing the same choice humanity had faced years ago. What did you tell them? Hyenwoo asked. We told them they have options, Captain Choi replied. They can comply with the demands, or they can call the Free Worlds Alliance. Hyenwoo smiled. The galaxy was a big place, and there would always be bullies who demanded submission. But now there was also hope. There were people who would stand up and say no when others tried to take away their freedom. Prepare a response, Fleet ordered. Let's go show the Wanderers that they are not alone. As the sun set over New Geneva, Hyenwoo looked up at the stars. Each point of light represented possibilities, dreams, and the endless potential of free beings working together. The Galactic Council had demanded compliance. Humanity had walked out instead, and in doing so, they had given the galaxy something it had not had for 10,000 years, hope. The future was bright, and it belonged to everyone.